Every sunrise on the African savanna begins with a silent search for survival. An experienced lion knows that patience often burns. Only a short distance away, another day begins for one of Africa's smallest survivors. Every careful step quietly reduces the distance. The hunter wastes no energy before the perfect moment arrives. For a creature this small, curiosity and caution must always exist together. Even the faintest sound can mean the difference between safety and danger. Then, something unexpected captures the lion's full attention. What appears to be an easy opportunity is about to become a remarkable encounter. Completely unaware, the little mongoose continues searching for another meal. The distance continues to shrink. Neither animal realizes how close their paths have become. From a distance, the savanna appears peaceful, yet every living creature shares the same silent struggle. In only a few moments, two completely different lives will unknowingly cross the same piece of ground.
Something changes.
Without knowing why, the tiny mammal senses that the morning no longer feels ordinary. The hunter notices the slightest hesitation. Every instinct tells him this may be the perfect opportunity. The mongoose continues forward, unaware that invisible eyes are measuring every step.
Closer.
The distance narrows one careful movement at a time. Food remains the mongoose's only priority. It has no reason to believe danger is already nearby. Patience becomes the lion's greatest weapon. Even the wind seems to move more than the hunter himself. Only now do their paths begin to overlap. A faint warning reaches the mongoose. Instinct begins asking questions long before the eyes find answers. For the first time, hunter and survivor recognize that they are no longer alone.
Something is watching.
The mongoose cannot see clearly yet, but instinct refuses to ignore the warning.
The lion waits.
For an experienced hunter, patience often creates opportunities that speed never could. Instead of panicking, the little survivor begins reading the landscape. The hunter quietly adjusts his path. Every movement is calculated to remain unseen.
The air carries unfamiliar scents.
Every small clue helps shape the next decision. The distance grows shorter. The hunter refuses to rush the moment. Now both animals share the same space, even if neither fully understands the other's intentions. Experience tells the mongoose to stay close to cover. Out here, every rock can become an advantage. The moment has finally arrived. Neither animal will leave this encounter unchanged. Both animals understand the situation now. The next decision could determine everything. The hunter advances with quiet confidence. The mongoose searches for the safest path before moving.
The chase has begun.
Speed alone may not decide the outcome. Every second matters. The smallest mistake could change everything. The rocky terrain offers possibilities. The mongoose knows this landscape far better than its pursuer. The lion refuses to give up. Experience keeps the hunter locked onto its moving target. Small differences begin creating valuable distance. Every obstacle changes the balance. The little survivor refuses to panic. The chase is no longer about speed alone. Now the landscape itself becomes part of the story. Height gives the mongoose a brief advantage. But the lion is already looking for another way. Not every path favors strength. Sometimes survival belongs to the animal that knows where to go. The experienced hunter refuses to lose sight of the escape routes. The little survivor keeps moving. Standing still for too long could become its greatest mistake. From higher ground, the hunter gains a better view. Every movement below becomes easier to notice. Even the smallest survivor must manage its energy. Every pause is carefully measured. Their paths continue drawing closer. The encounter is becoming impossible to avoid. The landscape itself has become part of the contest. Neither animal has given up. The real test is only beginning. The hunter slows once again. Rushing into unfamiliar terrain could erase every advantage. The mongoose trusts the rocks. Years of living here have turned every path into familiar ground. For a brief moment, neither animal chooses to move. The landscape keeps changing the balance. Every new turn creates another decision. Strength alone is no longer enough. Now every step must be deliberate. The tiny survivor keeps thinking ahead. Its greatest advantage is knowing when not to rush. The space between them grows smaller. The encounter is entering a new stage. Every pause is used to gather information. Neither animal has made a mistake yet, but the choices ahead will become far more difficult. The landscape begins to favor the smaller survivor. Even the strongest hunter must respect unfamiliar terrain. Every turn has been learned through countless journeys. For the mongoose, this maze feels like home. The lion changes strategy instead of wasting valuable energy. Both animals continue adapting. Every decision reshapes the encounter. Experience teaches the hunter to observe before acting. Sometimes waiting reveals what movement cannot. The open grassland brings new uncertainty.
Cover can protect, but it can also conceal.
The distance begins shrinking once more. Neither animal realizes how close the next encounter will become. The smallest pause can reveal the greatest advantage. The encounter is approaching its most difficult chapter. Soon, every decision will carry far greater consequences. The little survivor finally notices something important. A place too small for strength, but perhaps large enough for survival. The hunter believes the moment has finally arrived. There is almost nowhere left to run. Instead of choosing speed, the mongoose chooses the terrain. For one brief second, everything stands perfectly still. The smallest survivor escapes not by overpowering the hunter, but by understanding a world that was never built for size alone.